started with, we have been done a couple of demo sessions, guys. So guys, if anybody has been joined for the today's class, don't worry about that. Yeah, I think from my side, just let me check once. Yeah, from my side, I don't have any issue, guys, from the audio. So somebody has been saying that the voice is low. Can you please check from your side also? Because from my side, I was the mic was in maximum. It was there, so I don't have any problem. So please, you can also check from your side. Please increase your volume or something like that. Okay, fine. Yes. Yeah, so I think some participants may face, they may think that it is my problem. So it is actually from your side also, please increase your voice or something, or please log in once again. Right, guys. Yeah, anyone, guys? Have you have you joined? It's a today's class, guys. Anybody has been joined for the today's class? Anyone is there? So that I can know about I want to give an idea about what I have been already discussed. You can use a chat panel and just you type out that you are the first session. Anyone is there, guys?
So today I'm joining my first lesson.
Okay,
yeah.
fine. Okay.
This is my also first class.
Okay, Bhupender. Okay, fine. I think a couple of guys are there. Don't worry, guys. That means it's when happened is going to be today is going to be the fifth session actually, guys. Fifth session means 3 sessions. It is going to be in just like a discussion class. It's like a demo, what we'll say that it's an introduction part only. We didn't started about that. Yes, Bhushan. Yeah, no update from management on access regarding what, Bhushan? Yeah, I told you no. Yesterday I told you no. So please wait. It's too early to give the access actually. So let me once actually the batch has been started. So really we don't know as of now how many participants are going to be joining, how many participants are going to be continue with the coming classes. So give me a 1 week of time, guys. Maximum by the end of this week we'll make it actually. Okay.
Okay, so
yeah. Okay. So it is. You are in the beginning stage only now. So we are at to go with a lot of time ahead. Actually, so many months of training is there. So don't worry about that. Okay. Anyhow, I am starting with the Python. Okay. So if you can learn from the video classes, I think so. You need not to attend these classes actually, right? So please wait. Just we'll wait the maximum by 1 week of time. We'll settle down everything. Access to the videos, access to the drive, all these things will be shared to you actually as soon as possible. Okay.
So they will be sharing any separate link for them all the for the classes, or we have to join from Zoom only?
You have to join from the Zoom only, but initial classes they will give you some a temporary Zoom link will be given. Once the batch has been once the batch was closed, because everybody does not join on the first session. A couple of days later they will join. So within maybe some around 10 days after we'll completely close the batch actually. So then we'll be getting one link will be there. That is a final link which we are going to get it actually. And don't worry, every update will be shared from our backend team. In the case if any change in the link is there, you will be informed about that particular link through your mails.
Okay, sir. No issue.
Okay, so please have some update on the mails. So please check your mails regularly. You will get the access. Generally, in the mid of the week, they don't change this. Maximum only at the end of the week only they will change this actually. Okay, that too happens just 2 or 3 times. Once the batch was closed, then no more updates will be there. Till the end of the session, your end of the class will be having the same link will be there. Okay, fine.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, so a couple of guys has been joined for the today's class. Just 5 minutes, just I want to recap the session, what I have been already happened. Guys, don't worry about the already happened sessions actually, because it is only just an intro part. So we have just started with some introduction part. like what is data science. Even we have not discussed about what is data science, what is machine learning, a little bit introduction about data science. Like data science is all about learning some various techniques, methodologies, some methods, some scientific or mathematical methods. Our main target is to get some insight from the data. So data was there. So we know why do you require statistics actually? So statistics is going to be one branch of the mathematics where we have tried to model the data such a way that we'll get some information from that. So that data, whatever the data we studied at our school days, is a very small data sets will be there. Just marks of 50 students. Okay, we used to create some kind of an frequency distribution tables. There is a very small data. They used to say that it is a marks of 50 students or a temperature of 30 days, something like that. But when it comes to the business data, you will be having a lot of data will be there actually. So understanding the data is going to be really a tough task actually. So data science will help you to get some insight from the data. And based on that understanding, even we can do some kind of a prediction also. We do some kind of a prediction. So what could happen in the future? So tomorrow, whether it will rain or not. So how can you predict it? Depending on the past 10 days data. So how the weather condition from the last 10 days, how that particular humidity, temperature, something like that, we use as a various factors actually. Same here also. The aspect of in our data science is completely inspired from our real life events only, guys. Even as I said that, a powerful algorithms are there. Powerful algorithms means they are not going to be any mathematical calculations or a lot, or it is going to be a very big theories and theorems will not be there. Every algorithm is almost all inspired from our real life events only actually, guys. So there is something called as a decision tree. It is generally inspired from our real life event only. Like for example, every day we are traveling from my house to the office actually. So we have some idea. So at what time if you start, you can reach with a shortest time. If I start at 9 o'clock, there will be a heavy traffic will be there. Or currently, let us say that if I take this route due to some factors, maybe something like a road closures are there, it will take some more time it is going to be. So how generally we take a decision? How generally we take a decision? So let us say that a person has got a multiple appointments. Let us say in 2 or 3 companies, he or she has gotten offers. So which offer we have to take? I cannot join in all the 3. So which offer I have to take? So I have some my own priorities, like what is the salary, like how many working hours are there, the distance from my house to the office, what kind of benefits we are going to be getting, on what technology I'm going to be gets working. So how about my future? There are different factors will be there. So based on that, we'll take a decisions actually. The name itself is a decision tree, guys, which was clearly inspired from our real life. In our real life, how do you take a decision? Same as it is, we are going to be take the decisions in the real applications actually. So I have been got discussed about some intro part of the data science actually. Yes, that is one thing I have been gotten. And second thing is going to be, and the second thing what I have been got done is, which is 3 days, guys. 3 days I done that introduction part. And after that, one day I have been got discussed about this yesterday. I have been started with some introduction part of which is going to be, because to apply all these mathematical techniques or to apply all these particular whatever the methodologies, even I shown some practical. Even you didn't understand them, but I shown you how simple our applications can be implemented by using some of the language. So as I told you, which is going to be, we are going to be using a language, what we are going to call it as a Python actually. So Python means, whenever say language means, generally whenever who come from the IT or something like an CSC, or who are having some programmatical knowledge. Nowadays, computer science, nowadays a programming language is becoming a common actually, guys. So as part of the engineering branches, independent of whatever your core subject, whether you are civil or mechanical or electronics or electrical or whatever mechanical, whoever it may be, everybody is going to be everybody has to learn a minimum, a programming language like C language. Minimum, it's a minimum requirement. Even nowadays, even the bachelor's like degrees, some bachelor degrees also, they're also learning a few programming languages, like who goes to something like completely like physics, chemistry. Those people may not have the idea, but most of the education system or most of the bachelor's degrees and all these things, they're already teaching some kind of a basic programming languages. So whenever if anyone has come here, if anyone has came here without having any knowledge, that means they never seen a programming language in their life. So like some people maybe they're actually, guys, even in 10+2 standards also they are teaching. So nowadays even in school standards also they are learning the programming languages. In school learning, in school stage only, in some like an international schools, they are learning some this particular language. They're also teaching Python. They're also teaching the Python as part of which is going to be 6 to 7 standards actually. Yes, I have seen in some schools that are teaching the Python as part of their particular course curriculum, just basics, because Python is very easy to learn. It need not to be a programming language. So at least if you want to learn C, C++, we have to know something like what is compilation, why do you compile a program, so how to execute the program. So something, at least some computer architecture, etc. If you know that, you will easily understand them. Writing a program is different. That is a different case. After writing a program is not sufficient. How to execute it, how to compile it, why we have to compile the program. So many discussions are there. But in Python, we don't require, because we already studied about that. Python is going to be a kind of a scripting language actually, guys. It is going to be like a scripting language. Like your C, C++, Java, no need to write a program. No need to save the program. It's an .c, .cpp or .java, something like that. So no need to compile the program by using various compilers, and no need to execute it. No need of doing all this work. It's a scripting language. Statement by statement will execute, guys. Simple, write a statement. Even if you want to write print, let us say, if you want to write a small program, hello world. So now by this time we have became an experts in programming languages. But whenever we started learning the C language, so generally C language means generally in our life, that is a first language which we are going to be learning actually. That is the first language we are going to learn. At that time, really everybody will have a doubts like why program, like why you are writing like this. So you will be having a little bit why we are compiling the program. A lot of confusion and a lot of doubts will be there. But now we have became very comfortable with that, and we have become an expert. But everyone has been remembered the first program in our life which we have written in C language, print hello world. Now I say that, even now also I say that yes, print hello world is a very simple program. It is the first program, the basic program which we learn in almost any programming language. So I think we remembered like how much you have been struggled to run our first program itself. So I think generally maximum nobody has been successfully executed the hello world program for the first time. When you are writing the program for the first time, a lot of mistakes we have been done. We forgot to put a semicolons, okay, or is maximum while you're learning C language. One of the common mistakes initially we do is we'll forget to write the header files. So hash include, which is going to be something like stdio.h, actually studio.h will say that. So at that time, we don't know why we are doing that, why we are including that particular library. They simply says that for the timing, you have to remember like this. But over the time period, we understood it. There are libraries. Those libraries are going to be attached to our program. And those libraries are basically responsible for converting our source code into the machine code. That's why we have to say hash include stdio.h. So maximum as of my knowledge is 99.99%. So everybody has been failed in running the first program in their life. Which is going to be what I can say is the program, that particular hello world program. Because the complexity is like that actually. We have to write hash include stdio.h, void main, something open parentheses or curly braces, printf, something like hello world, double quotes, semicolon, okay, and close the parentheses, save the program, compile the program. If I forgot a small semicolon, it won't execute. If I forgot that semicolon, it won't execute. Or if I don't put, generally in our initial stages, putting single quotes, double quotes, little bit confusion. When to use single quotes, when to use double quotes. So that lot of difficulties we have been faced actually. And as I told you, the Python mainly inspired. Basically, the main target of the Python is to make every programming part to be simplified. That's why it is going to be running. No need of writing any .py file or .python file. No need to save the file. No need to compile the program. No need to execute it. Directly write the statement. They will execute. It is a scripting language, executing statement by statement. Not like a program. Not like a, what is a program? The definition of a program. A program is going to be nothing but a set of instructions to perform a particular process. But Python says that I was not a set of instruction. I'm going to be just only a one line of code I'm going to be gets executing. To perform almost any operation, we'll write only one single line of code. Maximum will write only one single line of a code, will write it actually. That is what mainly the Python says. So guys, yesterday I have been discussed about some basic features. So no worries, the people who has been missed yesterday's class, there's nothing has been happened. Some history. So it's a basic history actually. So when it was started, how it was inspired, who is a person. So nothing but the Rossum. The Rossum is the inventor, or we can say that the author of this particular Python language. How we has been inspired and all these things. So some of the features I have been talked about that. Dynamically typed language. No declaration of variable is required. It's an open source, isn't it? And some style of programming actually, guys. Once if we talk about that, we are having a lot of features are there. So some of the features are going to be nothing but it is an object-oriented style programming actually, guys. Python is going to be the object-oriented style programming actually. So we have some advantages. So immediately don't worry about them actually, guys. That means some people think that, sir, I have to learn OOPS concept now. You need not to learn the OOPS concept, but if you understand the OOPS concept, that is sufficient, guys. It's an object-oriented style programming. The Python follows, which is going to be an object-oriented style of programming actually, guys. So that does not mean that you have to learn the concepts of object-oriented, because so many people are having a lot of a confusion with object-oriented. I know that actually, guys. So generally, so many people having a lot of confusion with this object-oriented style. When I said object-oriented, it is going to be a little bit confusion for them. Because the topic, the concept is like that actually, guys. Even the real-time experts also, they really will get a confusion with this object-oriented styles. So better than that, who are going to be the learners, they are better at the people, they are better at object-oriented compared with the real-time experts. So something like that, object-oriented itself is going to be, when you hear the word only, immediately we are going to be gets worrying about those particular concepts. So don't worry about that, because we really don't need to learn the object-oriented, but we have to understand the object-oriented, because Python follows the object-oriented style, the programming part. So classes, object, methods, attributes, these terminologies will come actually. So no worries. I'm going to teach you those basics of object-oriented in our class. 1 or 2 classes I'll spend on some time to understand the object-oriented style concept. Actually, guys, object-oriented style is more convenient than the procedural style. We know that procedural style programming language means like something like I can say that which is going to be like our C language. Like our C language, we can say it actually. C is going to be the procedural style actually. Syntaxically, when you see, so many people generally think that object-oriented means lot of concepts are there. We really don't require all those particular concepts actually. Even SQL is not an object-oriented style, but some databases will support the object-oriented, but SQL is not going to be, we can say that is not going to be an object-oriented style SQL. Okay, fine. So let us come here actually, guys. So it is going to be follows an object-oriented style. Generally, guys, normally we'll think that object-oriented is going to be somewhat which is going to be a complicated one. But practically, once you enter into that, really, if you can understand, the main problem is, guys, understanding the object-oriented style. So the way which we have been studied, or where we have been trained by somebody. So if the person does not trains us or does not teaches us properly, really this object oriented is a very complicated one. But if anybody who has been correctly, if they correctly explains what is object oriented, really the object oriented is going to be a very simple and very easy to understand it actually. We don't require it actually, guys. That's why I'm saying that don't worry about that. Just it is going to be understand the object oriented concepts. That's it. You have to know what is object oriented. You need not to know how to write all that classes. Okay, all those particular inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, all these things we need not to write it actually. We don't write it also actually. Just if we can understand that, that is sufficient. Basic. I'll teach you. I'll tell you from where to have to learn. Even I also going to take 2 sessions on that object oriented concept. But apart from that, if you also want to learn a little bit more about them and study them, I'll also share you some resources for that actually. From there, you can learn what is going to be an object oriented concepts. Understand it. You need not to learn object oriented. If you understand what is object oriented, that's it. That is going to be sufficient. Okay, fine, guys. Now coming to the okay. So once you talk about some of the features actually, guys, object oriented. Yesterday I have been given some points like it is going to be an open source. Okay, and apart from that, it is going to be a dynamically typed language. And I told you about some other features. It can integrate with any language actually, yes. So Python can be written as part of your Java code. So, but for that, some separate environment is required. Directly, you go to the Java code, and if you write the Python code, it won't execute actually. There are some separate compilers are going to be required. Like yesterday I told you about Jython, okay, Iron Python. These are going to be separate environments are there actually. Yes. Okay. Now, one of the main feature which Python provides, one of the main feature which Python is going to be providing actually, yes. As I yesterday told you, like what is the difference between a Python programmer and a normal, that means another level of programming actually, guys. The main difference here is, for example, if you ask a C or a C++ or a Java or a .NET programmer to implement some functionality we have been asked for. I'll tell you in the easiest way actually, guys. I'll tell you in a simplest way to understand it. I think all of you have been faced this particular example in your while you are learning of some basic programming languages. That is, while you are learning, which is going to be like for statements and while statements. In the other programming languages like C, C++, you have been written a program actually, guys, like finding what is the factorial of a number. So write a program to find a factorial of a number actually, guys. To find out factorial of a number. So we know what is meaning of a factorial of a particular number. It is 5 factorial. We'll write in mathematics like this actually, guys. So what is this? We know that it is going to be 5 factorial means it is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So for this, you have written a code. We have written a code actually, guys. What is the code we have written? You take n equals to some number, whatever it may be. We'll say something like while n is going to be greater than or equivalent to 1. So we'll take one temporary variable t equals to 1. We'll take it t equals to 1. We'll say that t is equals to t into the n value or whatever it may be, t into n value, and we'll say n is equivalent to n minus 1. We'll say that actually. Some coding we write it actually, guys. Don't worry whether I written correct or not. It does not matter. I'm not talking about that. We are not talking about whether the logic is correct or not. But whenever we want to find out the factorial of a number, we have to think about what logic we have to write. What logic we have to write, how to get that particular output. Same thing, we have been written a lot of code for matrix multiplication, matrix additions. We used to do it now, guys. While you're learning C, C++, we used to do matrix multiplications. They used to write some code where something like I less than or equals to something like an M, J less than or equals to M, something like that. We used to write a lot of code for that. Normally, if you ask a programmer to write some logic, he will think about like what logic we have to write. But whenever it comes to a Pythoneer, generally the people who works on Python, we call them as an Pythonese and Pythonist. So if you ask a Python or a Python expert or somebody, whenever we ask any logic or whenever we ask for some implementation, they will never think about what logic they have to write. Because Python provides you a lot of ready-made tools. You can say that the Python provides you a lot of ready-made tools are there actually, guys. A lot of ready-made tools will come into your system. Python provides you such kind of a ready-made tools or some utilities will be provided. By using that particular utilities, immediately we can perform the required operation. That means somebody written the code, we directly use it. We never think about, normally in other languages also, we have some functions will be there to find the length of a string or to convert the string into uppercase, but up to some limited scope only they will work. But Python provides you in every topic actually, guys. Every topic looks like our programming, other programming languages. But something beyond that, something additional features will be there. In every topic, you will find some additional, some functionalities or some additional features what we are going to be finding out. So what the Python is saying here is, for any functionality you require, almost all we are having some ready-made tools are there or some kind of a ready-made utilities are there actually. You have to download those particular utilities and you have to just work on that utilities. So the Python community says that it is going to be batteries included. They use a term called as, which is going to be the batteries are included. The batteries included. So generally, when you buy some toys, or something like when you buy some remotes, on the top, on the box, they will write batteries included. What do you mean to say batteries included actually? Guys, batteries included means it is ready to use. It is ready. Batteries included means it is ready to use. You need not to just open the box and you can use it actually. So the same thing, the term, the terminology which Python uses, the Python community uses is batteries included. What are these batteries actually, guys? The batteries are going to be nothing but there are some modules and there are going to be some packages, which generally we call them as libraries. Like if you have came from the C, if you came from C programming, how do you do something like include stdio.h? Okay, I didn't written correctly, stdio.h, or which is going to be hash include, which is going to be math.h to perform some mathematical operation. Or whenever you want to do some operations like string, which is going to be something called as an string.h, something we'll do the libraries now, guys. To perform some operations, we do some kind of an we'll import some libraries. Same as it is when you talk about Java. In Java, we do something called as an import, which is going to be java dot, which is going to be lang dot something. We do something like that. We're including some libraries now, guys. Same as it is, the Python also comes with a lot of ready-made modules and a ready-made packages are there. These packages are going to contain, you can say that it is going to be not just a bunch of, we can say that which is going to be some kind of a bouquet of some built-in functions will come. Ready to use tools will be there. Really, guys, if you want to find the factorial of a number, if you ask a Python developer or Python programmer or Pythonist, he never thinks about how to write the code. He will think about in which library this function will be available. He will think about that first. The first option is there any built-in function to calculate the factorial? If it is not there, then he will think about writing the code. Otherwise, he never thinks about writing the code. Everything they will always think about which library contains the functionality for this. Do you want to find out LCM GCDs? So you know how to find the LCM. You may have written the program. How to find an LCM and GCD. So for that, we have written some lengthy codes. We used to write it actually. But in Python, if you ask a Pythoneer to write a code or to find the GCD of two numbers, he never think about the logic. Everything they prefer to write only in a single line of code. So is there any existing library which provides a functionality for LCM? Is there any library which allows you to work with some the GCD? We never think. Generally, Python programmer, their behavior is going to be like this actually, guys. So we can say something like clearly to say that the Python programmers, the Python who are working on Python, they will behave just like a lazy people actually. That means for everything they want to learn about, they want to use some easy to use tools. For everything they prefer like this only. They never prefer to write a code. Once you move to the Python, our behavior changes. We never think about how to write the code. We always think about how to implement this with the help of a built-in functions. Really guys, Python provides you some hundreds of such kind of an modules and libraries are going to be provided actually. What is that module? What is that packages? We'll discuss it later. But those modules and the particular packages are nothing but what we are going to call them as a batteries. They are called as a batteries in the Python actually. The Python says that the Python comes with a ready to use batteries. That means it is a built-in batteries are included. So ready to use tools will be there. Directly we can work with those particular tools. Yes, I'm just giving some few names about them actually, guys. Some of the libraries which we use. Okay, forgot to tell you the main important point, guys. I forgot to tell you one of the main important point, the first point which I have to talk about. Sorry, guys. Sorry, because I forgot about that particular topic actually. Actually, the first point I have to tell you is that particular point. So I discuss some other different points, but actually I have to discuss about that particular first point actually. First of all, who is going to use this Python first of all? That is the first thing. The first thing is why? Who is going to use the Python? Generally, we learn about that. So like, for example, when you learn the C language, in the first introduction parts, we'll generally discuss about where do you use this C programming? Where do you use this particular C programming? So generally, as you know that whenever we want to work with some kind of a driver programming, so some kind of a driver programming embedded systems, they uses this particular C language actually. They uses this kind of a C language will be used. So same as it is, why do you require Python? So one of the main advantage, actually forgot to tell you the first point actually, guys. The first point I have to tell you is that particular feature actually. It is a general purpose language. That means this Python was not designed. The Python was not designed to satisfy the requirements of a specific group of people, or it is not going to be a specific domain of people to work with them. Some languages will be there, guys. You can develop only some kind of an applications. Like for example, if I talk about Java and etc. Yes. No. Even in mobile development is also there. Bhushan, it's no. Okay. I'll clarify that particular doubts. Who is that? Mohanty. Just remind me at the end of the class. I'll show you. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Bhushan, one more thing is, yes, absolutely. It is also used in mobile development. You can do it actually, yes. But it's not that much is going to be compatible. But for developing of some kind of a prototypes, etc., they use as the Python programming. Just let us verify. I seen some libraries actually, guys. Let us say which is going to be Python for which is going to be, let us say something called as a mobile applications. It is going to be Python for mobile applications actually, guys. So you can really develop that particular kind of an applications actually. So if you want, just I'll see which is going to be build a mobile application, which is going to be by using some kind of a Python framework. We have a different type of frameworks are going to be there. I was not an expert in that. I know it. I know that you can do it. But there are some libraries are there. We have some libraries are there. I seen them. I didn't work on them. I clearly told I was not a Python expert. Okay, whatever the Python that is going to be gets used, it is going to be. So is Python is suitable for mobile applications? You can do it. It can do it actually, guys. But there are some limitations are going to be there actually. There are some limitations are going to be there. So a game app developments are going to be there, which we can do that. There are some libraries are going to be there, which we can use it. And if you start working on them, you can do it actually. That is a different discussion. But developing of mobile applications, if you want, we can see that there are some libraries are there. You can see there some libraries, some Kiwi. Okay, so this is going to be build a mobile application with a Kiwi Python framework. It is going to be. We can develop it actually, guys. So they install in the Kiwi framework, and there are going to be doing this actually. Got it? Okay. So this is going to be. So there are going to be some running that particular Kiwi program. They write it. They will develop a mobile application like this. Okay, but I was not expert in that, but I know, like generally I told so my experience and all these things, I can talk about those things. Okay, Yes, one more, Mohanty. I think you have been asked for for what libraries we have to use. I'll tell you about that. Okay, first let us come back to that. It is a general purpose language actually, guys. What is a general purpose language means? Almost all everybody. Don't think that Python is only used by only generally by computer science engineering people or only for software development. Not like this actually, guys. There are so many purpose we can talk about that. So it is going to be some kind of an application development actually, guys. Application development means it is going to be web applications. It is going to be any web applications. We can develop the web applications. We can develop the Windows applications. We can develop. Okay, even we can develop the mobile applications. Okay, not only this, even some kind of a gaming applications. When we can develop a lot of gaming applications actually, guys. So it can be used almost all everyone. It's not that you should be only a computer science engineer or only the IT professional to use a Python actually. It's designed as a general purpose language. Everybody has to use. Application developments like web Windows applications, desktop applications, mobile applications, gaming applications we can do. Even some kind of an networking people actually, guys. Networking applications we can use. So networking applications means like some kind of this telecommunications, which are going to be socket programming actually, guys. So some kind of a socket programming. Okay, this like what we can say that the telecom companies actually, guys, they use us all that particular socket programming actually. Plus along with that, even some kind of an hackers. Even hackers are also going to be using the networking application. This Python as part of their hacking application they are using because they support socket programming. So even some kind of a mathematicians and statisticians actually, guys. So mathematicians and statisticians. So those people are also using actually, guys, because it supports a lot of mathematical theories. I want to do a matrix multiplication. So I have been given a 10 by 10 matrix. I have given a 10 by 10 matrix and I have been given another 10 by 10 matrix. So if you want to write a Java program to do some multiplication between them, it is a very lengthy program we have to write. In Python, we don't require that much programming. Just one line of code, we can do it actually. Just one line of code. So the mathematicians, so many statistics theories, statistics solutions, mathematical theorems, everything we can implement actually, guys. So mathematicians, statisticians are using. And coming to our application, guys, even the data science, the data analytics. So whatever the data scientist and data analytics, for that particular purpose, we are going to be using. Because anyhow, we already studied. For our data science, we are going to use this particular Python language. Because it is all about, it supports mathematics and statistical solutions. We can apply them actually, guys. So like that, almost all everywhere, these people are going to be using. It's not etc. actually, guys. Even not only this, even we can develop so many Photoshop softwares. Everything we are able to develop by using a Python language actually. It's a general purpose language. But why we are learning Python actually, guys? Not for any application development. We are not going to learn any networking applications, but some mathematical and statistical concepts you want to implement, and data science and data analytics concepts we want to implement. For that particular purpose, we are learning this particular the language called as this particular Python language. So actually, why the discussion has came actually, guys? Why the discussion has came? Actually, the discussion has been came is to understand what is this batteries included. So there are so many modules are there. What is module? What is package? I'll tell you later. There are so many modules and there are so many packages are there. Actually, package is nothing but a collection of modules actually, guys. Just simple to say that. So which module we have to use? So Python provides a different modules for different purpose. Like for example, if you want to do some web development, there will be a different frameworks, there will be different libraries will be there. If you want to work for game mobile application, just now we have seen something like we are having some libraries going to be there. Okay. And if you want to develop some kind of an gaming applications, some other libraries will be there. For socket programming, some other libraries and some other modules will be there. So we completely concentrate on the whatever the libraries or whatever the libraries which we use for maths and stats, which is for data science and analytics purpose, what we are going to be using. I'll just name some of them, guys. I'll just name some of them, but don't worry about that. There are so many are there actually, guys. So some of the most popular libraries which we are going to work actually, guys, which is going to be one of the very popular one is Numpy. It's a very popular among the data scientists and data analytics, mathematician, statistician uses this Numpy. Generally, the application developers, gaming people, they don't use this. Mostly mathematicians, statisticians, data science people, deep learning applications, those people will use this actually. What is Numpy basically stands for? Numerical Python. So we can do a lot of numerical calculation. As I said, no, a 10 by 10 matrix into 10 by 10 matrix, if you want to do, we use this Numpy library. Just create an array, create a matrix of 10 by 10 size, create another matrix by 10 by 10 size, and just ask the system to multiply them. It will do it. No need to write any code at all. There is a matrix M1, guys. There is a matrix M2. Simply both of them we have to do a dot product. We know the matrix multiplication now, guys. Dot product actually. M1 dot, which is going to be M2. It will do the dot product actually. But if I said M1 multiplied by M2, it is a simple multiplication will be done. It is a simple multiplication will be done, but we have to do a dot product actually. You know what is a dot product actually, guys? The first row and the first column elements will be multiplied, and then we are going to add them. That is what we call as a dot product, what we are going to call it as actually. So if I want to do such kind of an application, just M1 dot, the method name is dot, and M2. Just a dot product will be done actually. So Numpy, Pandas. Pandas mainly allows you to do all the data analytics part actually, guys. And we have to do a lot of data visualizations. So we are having so many are there actually, guys. It is going to be, we'll discuss them, guys, which is Matplotlib. We are going to be using Seaborn. Okay, Seaborn and Matplotlib is basically for data visualization actually, guys. When you want to visualize the data, we do that. Pandas is basically for analytics purpose. Numpy is basically for numerical calculations. Okay, if you want to perform machine learning, it is sklearn, which we call it as scikit-learn. If you want to work with the deep learning, we are having some libraries like Keras, or which is going to be, we are having something like a TensorFlow, or we are having something called as an PyTorch. So many things are going to be there actually, guys. Etc. We can say that. So many are there. Even for data visualization, we have so many are there. We are having a library called as an Bouquet, or we are going to be having a different libraries like which is going to be Plotly. We are going to be having some kind of a dashboard reporting by using Dash. So many things are going to be there. So many are there. If you talk about that, these are the libraries which we use as for mainly for our important libraries. We work on all these libraries. We are not interested to develop any web applications. We are not interested to develop any mobile applications, gaming applications, socket programming. Those things we don't do that. We have some data with us. We have to play with the data. We have to do some manipulation with the data. So whatever the libraries you require, these are some of the libraries actually. If you want, you can check them. That means for the timing, you can just check them. numpy.org, matplotlib.org, seaborn.org, sklearn.org, keras.io, something. If you just go to the Google and search out, you can find out those particular libraries. Why do you use them actually? So these are all the contributions to the Python actually, guys. These are all some contributed, and Python was maintained by a community. So the particular ROSM is not the only one person actually, guys. So along with the ROSM, there are so many other contributors are there. It is maintained by a network, maintained by a community, an open source community actually, guys. It is completely maintained by an open source community, which is contributed by many experts around the world. So many experts are there. Something like domain experts are there. Domain experts means like our doctors. So many things, so many people. So like the geologist actually. So many who are the domain experts will be there now, guys. So who knows that, who works on them actually. Whenever they want to work with the space and all these things, the astronomies, the astronomers. So those are going to be domain experts actually. So domain experts, a mathematician, statistician, and which is going to be like what we can say by a computer expert. So all these people works together in a data science projects actually, guys. Okay. So which has been contributed by many experts across the world. So Python is a community actually, guys, an open source community. And if you want to download the software from the Python, first I always recommend to download the Python from which is going to be www.python.org actually, guys. This is an official website of the Python community. From here, download the Python actually, guys. Simply download the Python. It supports all operating systems, Windows, Mac, Linux, almost all operating systems are supported. Sorry, Mac, okay, Windows, Mac, or it may be any flavors of Linux or anything, it will be supported. You can download on any kind of a system. So download, it's a very, very small file actually, guys, a very small file. And one more thing actually, guys, when you download it is going to be a base system actually, guys. Generally, we are going to install only the base system. Base system means which will just comes with the basic Python software. Only with the basic Python software only it will come. Very lightweight. Hardly, guys, it is around 27 MB of the space. I'm talking about this much implementation, but it comes with only 27 MB of the space. You install Visual Studio, guys, it is more than 1 GB space. If you install Visual Studio, it is going to be more than 1 GB space it is going to be. So this will come with a very lightweighted, which is going to be a base system. Is the base system means whatever the Python community has been developed initially, only that system will come. If you want to work with, as I told you, if you want to work with all these Numpy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Sklearn, Keras, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Bouquet, Plotly, Dash, we have to install them separately. Yes, that means we have to set up our environment. Just like when you install the Windows, how the Windows system will come with only the basic features. After that, we are going to be adding a little bit more softwares and all these things. We do that, isn't it? Same as it is, it's a base system will come actually. Hardly 27 MB, 28 MB, hardly less than 30 MB. It does not take even 2 minutes of time to install the software. But I'm talking about this particular with a very high implementation like hackers will use, mathematicians will use, deep learning experts will use. But once you come here, it is only the basic software which I have to install. You can handle it actually, guys. With that base system only, as you require, you add up all the additional things what you require, install them and use them, install them, use them, install them, use them. Okay, for beginners it is fine, but for advanced users, this is not recommended. For that, I'll talk about the later. Within a couple of days, I'll work on this, guys. After that, I'll move to the advanced levels. We'll move into that. So I'll show you the official website. I'll already shown you, which is going to be www. which is going to be python.org actually. Yes. It's going to be python.org. I think the latest version is going to be 3.10. Download the 3.10.3. I think the version is going to be download 3.10.7, guys. 3.10.7 is a version. I think I may using a little bit lower version. Lower version means I don't use 3.9, 3.7. I'm also using 3.10 only. Generally, these updates very frequently updates them, guys. So every time updating is it's not possible for us. That's why generally we use as a one version actually. The latest versions only will use it actually, guys. It is going to be 3.10.7. Download it, guys. You can see that it is hardly 27 MB space actually, guys. It is hardly 27 MB is the space it is utilizing. Okay. So installation is very easy, guys. So I don't install, but I'll show you the installation procedure. Otherwise, I can also install it, not a problem. 27.6 MB, guys. No, that means not that much any complications. Anybody who is having some minimal computer knowledge, they can install it. There is no need to do any settings or no need to change the settings actually. This one actually, guys, but you can see that in my system, it was already there. That's why it is saying that it is an upgrade now. So actually I'll go for upgradation. Otherwise I can do the installation. Replaces your existing installation without changing the settings. Select customize to review the current options. Okay. I don't bother. I'm doing the upgradation actually, guys. Maybe upgradation may takes a little bit time compare with the installation. So don't worry. So it's going to be doing that. Just hardly 2 minutes it will take it actually, guys. Hardly it is going to take 2 minutes of time. Being I am upgrading, it may takes a little bit time, but in your systems, by instantly now, if you are really now, if you are already working on the system, guys, you can just download 2 minutes, it will do the installation procedure. Okay, so install the software, guys. Just install the software, leave it, whether it works or does not work, I don't bother about that. So if you want to work with, so official website is going to be from this one. If you want, spend some time, read some documentation actually, guys. So there are going to be different types of Python version 3.10, 3.9, 3.8, 3.7. Earlier version is going to be 2.7, but Python community has stopped supporting this. End of the life. It was end of the life actually, guys. I think last end of the support is, which is on 1st January 2020. They stopped it actually, guys. For 3.10, the end of the support is up to 2026. It was. All these are ahead actually, guys. 2025, 3.7 also in the next coming year, they stop it actually, guys. They will stop it actually in 2023. They will stop. 3.8 will stop in 2024, and 3.9 will stop in 2025, and 3.10 will be stopped in the end of the support will be taken place. So if you want, you can read it actually, guys. Like how exactly, if you want some information, if you want to study, want to contribute, so want to contribute to that something, if you want, you can study them actually, guys. Read some articles if you want, related to community, related to the success stories. Okay, we have some different options are there: arts, business, software development, scientific, engineering. So success stories if you want to talk about them. So which is going to be Python for collaborative robots. Okay, so which is going to be bridging the clinical conversation using the Python. If you want to study, which is going to be if you want to study how we want to work with that. As you can see, machine learning, because our subject actually, I guess, machine learning, they are going to be using this actually. Okay, so don't worry. If you have some time, you can just spend some time and do it actually, whatever it may be, does not matter. Okay, guys. So download it and install it actually, guys. It won't take that much time. I think by this time, you have been, if you really started the installation, you would be installed this particular software. Okay, anyhow, let it happen. In my system also, it won't take that much time. It's upgrading. 10 point, I think I'm using 3.10.3. I'm using the earlier version. It was getting updated to 3.10.7 actually. Just a few libraries will be updated actually, guys. Okay, once if you have installed the Python actually, guys. So you can find the Python here now. So where is that? Right. There is going to be Python actually, guys. Can you see here? I was having 3.7, the earlier version. When I'm having 3.7 is there actually, guys. I have it earlier. So now it is upgraded now, guys. Complete everything is getting upgraded. So this is going to be 3.10 is going to be the latest one, what we can see it actually. Even we install 3.10.7, even you install 3.10.3, it does not, they are the minor versions only actually, guys. They are not any major versions actually. They are what we are going to call it as a minor versions, what we are going to do that. They don't make that much changes actually. They don't make that much changes actually. Okay. So where do you start working? Obviously, we know that whenever we are learning any language, the first thing we are thinking about is where to write the program. Where to write the program. So where to write that particular program? I learned C programming somewhere around 20 years back actually. Yes, 20 years back, I learned the C language. At the time, we used to write. Nowadays, the environment has been changed, guys. So we used to use something called as an Turbo C. So it is going to be like a console application. So we'll open the console application. We used to work with the Turbo C and we have written. But recently, that means recently means some years back, one of my relative is he was studying he was doing his graduation. He was doing his engineering. So he has came to me and he has been asking me to teach the C language actually. I was not an expert in C, but I can teach over my experience. I can teach it actually. So then I have been seen. So they are using some different environment. No need of compiling the program, no need to run the program. That means directly they no need to use any command. But there we used to struggle there actually, guys. So we used to write a program, save the program. There is an option called as compile, go there. And even in Java also, nowadays everybody is using Eclipse. So same like this, to work with the Python also, we have a different types of IDEs are there actually, guys. We have a different types of IDEs are there. So one of the IDE which I'm going to be using, there are so many IDEs are there, guys. But initially we are going to be using a tool, what we are going to call it as an idle, which comes along with the whenever we install from python.org. When you install the Python from python.org, this tool will come actually, guys. So you know what is an IDE? IDE is nothing but the environment. Anyhow, I'll discuss about what is an IDE, guys, later, because I'll talk about IDEs later. So this is going to be what we can say that it is going to be a kind of the integrated IDE stands for an integrated developing environment or a development environment. It is a slightly changed, a learning environment. L stands for learning environment. It comes along with the python.org actually, guys. Once you've installed Python, you will be getting this idle, right? Done, guys. It didn't take that much time also for me. Being I have been upgraded, it has taken that time. It has to remove the old files and it has to install the new files. Now have a look at this one, guys. Come here, go to the Python. So Python 3.10, there you can see it actually, guys. Can you see? IDLE, idle, which is going to be Python 3.10, which is going to be 64-bit. Open it, guys. Just open it, guys. I think I have been got upgraded, no? So I will be getting 3.10.7. Python, which is going to be 3.10.7. So I think it has been, when it has been upgraded, September 5th, 2022. Okay, September 5th, which is going to be 2022. And we can see a Python prompt like this actually. This is a Python prompt. Just we can execute. Just we can execute actually, guys. No need to write any code and everything. We need not to write any particular code. Okay, so no need to write code. Code means we don't write any much programming part actually. So just everything. So just for a timing, I'm saying that. Do you want to print hello world? So print, which is going to be hello world. Whether you give single quotes, whether you give double quotes, it does not matter for us. Print, which is going to be hello world. Over. In other languages, single quotes, double quotes, there is a lot of confusion will be there. In the place of single quotes, if I give double quotes, it will give an error. Or in the place of double quotes, if you give a single quotes, you may get an error. But here, no such kind of a concepts. Even I enclose within double quotes or when I enclose in double single quotes, anything will works. A equals to 10. Sorry, A equals to 10. B is equivalent to 20. C is equivalent to 30. Print, which is going to be like C style. Percentile D, percentile D, percentile S, no requirement. A comma B comma C. Done. Over. Print ABC. Over. No need of writing a program, no need to save the program, no need to compile it, no need to execute, nothing to do it actually, guys. So this is going to be what exactly it is going to be happens actually. Okay. So anyhow, don't worry. I'm not starting with any practicals actually, guys. Just I want to show you how our Python environment looks like. But in the coming, that means once if you go to the advanced level, it will be very difficult actually. Guys. What is the difficulty here is, the problem is not with the writing the code. The problem is, I want to repeat the same statement for multiple times. It becomes a little bit trouble for us. Then we use a different IDs actually, guys. Okay. So just for a small clarification, that means just to have some small clarification. And now somebody has asked me, sir, how do you implement the libraries? As I told you, sir, I want to find out factorial or how to find out the GCD, how to find out that LCM. So if you ask a C programmer to, I want to find a factorial of a particular number, immediately start writing a program. But Python developer or Pythonist does not think like that. He will first think about it. Simply, he will try to find out, is there any library to find out, to find that particular, the factorial of a particular number. Once you find out that particular, once you identifies that, or once he finds out that, yes, there is a library is there, immediately he will do the import. He will do the import actually, guys. Don't worry, I'll discussing about all these things later. So yes, I think Mohanty, I think you have been asked, no? So what is the library which is used for calculation of the factorial LCD, the LCMs and GCDs? Import math. It is going to be math dot, guys. It is going to be this much simple. It is going to be this much simple. It is going to be there actually, guys. It is going to be math dot factorial, which we can see what exactly we can see within applications. Okay, so that is an idea actually, guys. Math dot factorial, same as it is going to be math dot. I can find the LCM of two numbers. LCM, not only two numbers, guys. You can give any number of any number of inputs we can give. Just an example, you know what is a least common multiple? For example, if I give, let us say 6 and for example, I said something like 6 and we'll use 9 actually, I guess. I think 6 and 9. Okay, not a problem. 6 and 9, least common multiple. So you know what are the common multiples? Least common multiples. 6 multiples are 6, 12, 18, so on. 9 multiples, 9, 18. Among that, which one is the common? Which one is the least common actually? Which is going to be nothing but 18. Same as it is math dot, which is going to be GCD. You can find out for any number. It's not only 2 numbers, guys. You can find the LCM for 10 numbers at a time. You can find it out, which is going to be a greatest common divisor actually. 6 and 9. What is the greatest common divisor? So obviously we know that 3 is the greatest common divisor, isn't it? So like this, we can just find out what exactly it is going to be happening actually. Like for example, 24, 24 and anything you'll go for 6, 24. Otherwise I'll use something like 16. Just an example I'm talking about. 16, which is 24 and which is going to be 40, something, whatever it may be, guys. So what is going to be the greatest common divisor actually? It is 8. So observe, you just observe carefully, guys. Just I don't want to I just don't want to show something the application. I just want to show like how simple the Python made the programming easy. So anybody who want to, for example, if you said math dot actually, guys, you will get a list of functions actually, guys. A really lot of functions will get actually, guys. See, factorial is going to be there. The factorial, these are the factorial. We are going to be having something called as an GCD. Okay, so many are there actually, guys. So we can find out the square root of a numbers, logarithmic value of 10, logarithmic value of 2, anything, whatever we are going to, even some kind of an permutations and combinations actually, guys. So a kind of an permutations and combinations also we can find it off actually. These are all you know, the mathematical functions actually. So radians, power, pi, okay, sine value. If you want to find the sine value actually, math dot sine 30, but we have to convert into radians. So if you want to convert into radians, no need to do the calculation by yourself. Directly we have math dot, which is going to be radians of, which is going to be 30. This is one technique. Otherwise, math dot, which is sine of, it is going to be sine of 30 degrees multiplied by generally 3.14 is not a correct value of pi. 22/7 is not 3.14. So math provides you, this math library provides an attribute called as pi divided by 180. It's an attribute actually. Don't worry. Result is the same. I done it manually. Math.pi. This is an attribute actually, guys. You know the difference between an attribute? No worries. I'll tell you the difference. Math.pi, which is an attribute, which is a data member, what we are going to call it as. If I said math dot, which is square root, it's a function. It is a method actually, guys. It is going to be a method actually. Math dot square root of, which is going to be 100 actually. There is a value what we can see. So something like that, we can just perform this actually, guys. In this Python software, will you write all algorithms? We don't write the algorithms, guys. We don't write the algorithms. We don't write the algorithms. As I told you, there are some libraries will be there. Like for example, I want to implement a machine learning algorithms. So we are having, maybe it does not works actually, because it may not be gets installed. It is going to be what we call it as sklearn is a library will be there. In the sklearn.libraries, we are going to be having a different functionalities will be there. We'll import it and directly we'll use it. We don't write the algorithms, guys. Writing an algorithm is going to be beyond our expected actually, guys. We can't do it. Really, if you want to write an algorithm by yourself, it is going to take some months and years of time to write the programs. We are going to be using the functionalities actually. Okay, so sklearn is a library. Actually, it may not be installed. That is the reason, but I can show you some. It is going to be sklearn. What we are going to call it as an scikit-learn, which is going to be for machine learning actually, guys. sklearn for machine learning is what we are going to be using actually. So like some examples actually. For machine learning, we'll use this library, guys. Scikit-learn, all functionalities will be ready to use. Ready to use functionalities actually, guys. This is all about machine learning. Okay, if you want to work with deep learning applications actually, guys, we are going to be using Keras. which is going to be basically the deep learning APIs are going to be gets provided actually. So something like that, everything will depend on. Find all is a library or a function. Find all. We have multiple options will be there actually, guys. Okay, so with the same names we'll be having the functions and this one. There are some names are there. Like for example, if you have a date time is there. Date time is going to be having, as of my knowledge, let me check it out. For example, if I say, which is going to be, it's a package. Maximum my knowledge is going to be nothing, but it's a package actually. RE is a package. I know about the RE. It's a regular expression. Regular expression is going to be in a package actually. So it's a module. Import, which is going to be RE, it is going to be a package. Help, which is going to be RE. You can see that is going to be a completely, it is a package actually. It's a module, what we can say that. Help on the module called as an RE. Basically for regular expressions, we'll use this actually. So let me check out, because all libraries we are not going to use this actually, guys. So for example, if I said find all, it's not a module. We have to check out whether it is going to be find all or what it is going to be. I never heard about that name, but if you have to look at that, we can say that. Okay. RE is an RE, date and time, OS, okay, zip file, all these are going to be comes under. Don't think that find all is going to be this one, but I can find it off because it may not be installed also. Some of them has to be installed separately actually, guys. Some of them has to be installed separately. For example, just let me check it out actually, guys. Find all. If it is successfully installing, it is a module or it is maybe a package. We can say that actually. Let me check out. It will tell you whether it really existing does not exist. It's not a package actually, guys. We didn't find it such kind of an application. Okay, it's maybe function or it may be a part of. It may be a part of some package actually, but as of now, I cannot find the find all here now. As of now, I cannot find the find all because I can't find it any name which is going to be find all is not going to be available at all as of now. So in this package, it was not available. It may be available maybe in other packages, but as of here, it is not there actually. As of this particular package, it may be there in some package. Okay. Oh, I got it, guys. I got it. In regular expression, it is a function. Okay. In regular expression, we are having this. Find all is going to be there. Yes. That is going to be a function, which is a part of the RE package. So RE is a module. Inside that, find all is going to be a package actually. Suddenly, if you say find all means, I cannot recollect one. So regular expression dot find all, right? Find all is there. We are going to be having split. So many things are going to be there actually, guys. We are going to be find all. Even find is also going to be there. Find alls, matches, something like search. We are going to be having those particular techniques, right? Fine. So suddenly, if you said find all means nobody can say that it's a package of an RE package. In RE, we are having a function, which is I remember now, right? Okay, guys. So that is all about this particular. What we can say is in Python, everything is going to be ready to use. If you want to do this functionality, we'll try to find out which library, which function is going to be available there. That is a way which we have to identify. So we never think about writing the logic actually, guys. This is what I shown you is a very simple application, guys. Even a very complicated applications also we do in a single line of code. Even a very complicated applications also we do in a single line of code actually, guys. So that is the beauty of this particular the Python language, right, guys? So that is about the basic understanding about the Python. So don't worry. So don't worry, guys. So because I didn't show, don't worry about that. What is that library is important and what I tried it. Don't worry about that. Later we'll work on them. Okay. So anyhow, guys, please install the Python software from python.org. 3.10.7 is the latest version. Download and install it, guys. 2 to 3 minutes, not more than that. It is going to take less than 3 minutes. It will take it. And make it ready, guys. From tomorrow onwards, we'll start with the practicals. Okay. First, initially, I start with the basic. I'll talk about them. What is Anaconda software and all these things we'll discuss in the later application, Mohanty. Okay. No, as of now, you work with this, guys. As of now, we will work with that. As I already told you. So in a couple of days, not couple of days, maybe for 1 week, we'll work on them. After that, we'll start. It's all for beginners, actually, guys. You may have a knowledge, but you always think that you are learning this course means you will think that we'll just expect that we are going to be the beginners actually. So as a beginners only we'll behave actually. We'll always imagine that we don't know anything about that. We don't want to use any complicated work for the time being, right guys? As of now, work with ideal. Work with ideal. After that, I'll tell you what is the solution. Anyhow, in the later classes, I'll use as a Jupyter notebooks only, guys. Later classes, I'll be using Jupyter notebooks only. Okay. So that's it for the today's class, guys. We'll just end up the session for today, and we'll continue in the tomorrow's class, same time, and which is going to be the same link actually, guys. Right. Okay. Anyone, guys? Any questions? If you have any questions, guys, we'll have a discussion and we'll move ahead. Any questions, guys? Anyone? Okay. So fine. I think everybody's fine with the today's class, guys. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, guys, for attending the session, and we'll meet up in the tomorrow's class. Right, Ranjan? Do you have any question?
No, sir.
Right. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone, guys, and we'll meet up in the tomorrow's class. Thank you, all of you, and have a nice day.